Hey guys, what's going on? It's Meshi with Path to Wellness with Meshi. We're back with another video and we're wrapping up the month of May, which means that not only June is here, but we need to talk about monthly favorites. So we're going to be diving into green beauty, into crystals, books, mindset shifts, all of that fun stuff. So if you wanted to see what went amazing for the month of May, then just stay tuned and let's get right into it. So May has been an interesting month, mainly because a lot has gone down for the month of May. And again, I always kind of make this promise that we're not going to go down on memory lane and reflect on the month, nor are we going to point out that, oh my God, another month is gone. Yeah, another month is gone, hence why we're here right now, because by the weekend, June is here. I know. Let's not jibber jabber. Let's just dive right in. What is going on? First, let's start with beauty products. I had really mixed feeling about this product for the longest time, but then I decided to kind of give it a different take of how I wanted to use it. So, and honestly, I really enjoy it. So I'm talking to you about the Well People Narcissist foundation stick. I have this guy in a shade in fair golden. It comes in quite a few shades, and really it's just a stick foundation. You can use it as either as foundation, or you can also use it as a concealer, and it's really nice on lighter days or when you're working out and you just kind of pile it on, and you can dab it on with your fingers and blend it out. I usually use a brush. I actually use this guy in combo with the Elite Fresh Tint foundation, and the two together, two sheer coverage foundations together, has been amazing. So on days when you really don't want to wear a lot of makeup, it's perfect for that. I will leave a link in the description so you can see my latest Get Ready With Me where I was using this guy. And honestly, it builds up to a medium coverage. And for the longest time, I was actually using this as sort of a primer just underneath my foundation. Either way, no matter how you use it, I think that it's great, especially for the price point. Highly recommended. So I have been really loving this for the month of May. It has been great. Now, this is something that you haven't really seen me talk about too much. Anyway, basically, I'm talking to you about Clove+Hallow, and soon you will probably see on this channel a full review of a few of their products. If you want to see, comment below. First of all, let me know if you have used anything from Clove+Hallow. You guys, oh, the love affair is real. So recently we had my daughter's first communion, so of course everybody was getting all dressed up, getting all dolled up, and we're taking pictures. So I have their lipstick. This is their red lipstick. I have this in a shade Damsel. I'm just going to give you a swatch so you understand why this is as tight. What? Right? Wait. Well, what? I can see this in the viewfinder. It's ridiculous. So I was wearing this shade, and oh my gosh, you guys, it looks stunning. I will just insert a picture of me here so you can kind of see how my makeup looked like. But recently I went shopping and I picked up a couple of their products. I am currently wearing I think it's called the Lip Gelée or Lip Glaze. This is in the shade Prep. This is what I have on my lips right now. I'm so impressed with them, you guys. But I will be doing a full review. So this is their lip gloss, and again, I can see it, it's right here. It's beautiful, completely full coverage. Colors are bold and beautiful. They stay on the lips. They don't dry you out. And then this guy, I'm going to have to do a full review. And if you guys are interested, we will do a full brand review. But I recently also picked up their actual compact foundation. And now I will say this, I'm not a huge fan of compact foundations, primarily because of exactly what you're thinking. It's drying. It's going to look cakey. It's going to settle in fine lines. You will look weird, and color matching is have fun with that. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm at. I saw all of those myths are being busted as of today. I'm wearing their foundation today, and it feels beautiful on the skin, you guys. Like, it feels like I have a liquid foundation on. Color match is on point, so I'm just so impressed. So this is the little compact that I bought their little compact, and then this is the shade that I have on. This is shade 3. Full review coming up. There has to be a full review, because honestly, everybody and their mother needs to know about this. It's a newer company. They are vegan, cruelty-free. They are using the Clean 15 when it comes to their ingredients. Let me just wash this off. Whoa, I can't even wash this off. Okay, the lip glaze, yes, but look at the lipstick. It's like not coming, like it's coming off, but not really. You're going to be scrubbing your hands for a little bit, or just use soap. Yeah, like, look at my hands. That was a swatch. What? Who are these people? Like, look at my hands. See my hands? It looks like I put my hand in tinta. Okay. Needless to say, if you're looking for a lip color that will stay on, like, just get it. Let's move on from beauty. I think that we need to have a level of self-compassion where we sort of find ourselves exactly where we are, and we sort of forget judging and beating ourselves up for why we had those thoughts and emotions in the first place. Sometimes influences come into our lives because it's trying to teach us something. What am I talking about? I'm being vague again. All right. I'm glad you asked. Nobody asked. All right. When I try out certain brands, a skincare line, it could be essential oils. In this case, we're talking about essential oils. I had such a biased opinion about certain brands that I would not even let anything else that sort of come in as new information that could potentially shake that belief system. So therefore, that meant in my mind, and maybe you relate to this too, that nothing else compared to that one brand that I was already enthusiastic about. And while I still enjoy doTERRA, I still enjoy using their products. I think they're absolutely effective and wonderful. However, what I'm not okay with is for me to knock all of the other essential oil brands that are also creating amazing products that are just as effective. You know what I mean? I picked up a new kit called Namaste. You get 2, 4, 6 oils, and they're all slightly different, but they're all wonderful in their own way. A couple of them are stimulating, a few of them are quite relaxing, and one of them you can use during yoga. So you get yoga, well-being, good karma, spa spirit, unwind, and exhale. They smell amazing. They're very effective. I really have been enjoying using them both at my treatment room and also at home. We've definitely been noticing that if I set up my diffuser in the morning and I just leave it in my bedroom, it smells amazing within like 20 minutes. So it's been an interesting journey with just, it's kind of nice when you can get to that point with your own wellness journey, when you allow yourself to change your mind about the beliefs and the things that you used to think were true. So that has been an interesting thing, to say the least. And moving on, what has been awesome when it comes to crystals? I haven't really talked to you too much about crystals in the last little bit because I haven't really been buying too many crystals. But what I have done is I completely rearranged my bedroom. I moved all my crystals. I cleansed all of them. And then I found new homes for all of them, because I find that sometimes you just need a different energy around you. You need different things at different times. So I'm back with this guy. This is citrate. Wow, that took an hour. This is citrate, and as you can tell, can you tell how like it's beautiful and yellow around here, and it's almost like white on this side? It has like a very interesting, it's very soft. It's completely shaved down and it's tumbled. Beautiful piece. It's definitely one of those pieces that you get really gravitated towards. It helps. I will list like their full benefits here just because I don't usually memorize a lot of them. I know why I bought this particular one mainly for manifestation. Remember when I did that abundance bowl a few videos ago when we were setting up for the moon ritual? I believe that it was a full moon ritual, and then I set up basically a full manifestation abundance bowl. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, again, I'll link it down in the description. I moved this now. It's basically set on like this little altar where I use this for meditation. I also moved my Aura Quartz. Aura Quartz is like, this is like ridiculous. It's like one of the most beautiful crystals I own. I'll just see if you can, it's like beautiful rainbow colors here. And then there's basically a big amethyst piece here. It's like every single time I look at it, it's so mesmerizing. Like any of the Aura Quartz crystals, they're sort of combined, like I believe they are man-made. Oh, love affair. I mean, honestly, like this explains exactly why you may have attraction to certain crystals. This is definitely one of those crystals that's just, it's so captivating. They like amethyst in itself. Well, again, I'm not going to mumble and bumble around of what each of them do. I'm much better off just listing them here on the side, but I know that Aura Quartz is man-made. And they usually combine two elements, and then that's how they can sort of make it. Usually it's either amethyst or clear quartz that they can kind of use for that. In this case, it's an amethyst piece. I picked this up like a little while ago from Chapters. Indigo, whatever, same thing. Still, like, love it, love it, love it. So like right now it's actually close to my desk and I see it every single day, and like I absolutely love it. And the other piece that I also moved is, this is a tumbled piece that I picked up like a while ago. This is actually a selenite piece, but the way that it's kind of tumbled, I don't know if you guys can see it. It has like little edges that are sort of shaved in. So it adds a really interesting element. So this would be something that you can use during your meditation, and you can hold it as a tactile reminder if you wanted to. Again, I usually just have this right next to this guy, and I absolutely love it. Moving on, books, before we move on to mindset shifts. So for books, I did pick up new books, but I haven't really read too many of the new books because I've been actually mainly reading magazines. I'm so like wrapped up with the research of like the different yoga studios, and of course like practicing a ton of yoga, that I haven't actually sat down and done a lot of reading. And the reading that I do end up doing is usually yoga magazines, or I end up going back to like mindfulness magazines, and there's also a book that you can get on like Buddhism. It's called Lion's Roar. It's an excellent piece. I believe that Daniel Laporte just recently wrote an article in there with the Dalai Lama. If you're not familiar, look at Lion's Roar. You will love it. But going back to books, so because I haven't really purchased too many books, the one that I have gone back to, mainly because cooking has been kind of an issue for me in the past month, and I'm doing my best that as we shifted gears with the seasons, that I kind of shift gears also with how we eat, and you know, to keep our food clean. So I went back to I'm going to say an oldie but a goodie, but really it's not that old. This is Eat with Intention from Cassandra Bodzak. I've cooked from her before. I've talked about this book before, and for good reason. Her recipes are so simple to use. And if you're looking for something where you can add more intentionality, especially when it comes to your food, I would highly recommend this, because what you end up getting is so here's an example. So here's a picture, here's the recipe, but then it also has like a full meditation listed of what the intentionality is behind creating this recipe. So you can actually add mindfulness practices into the way that you're eating. And it's such an amazing thing to teach your children, especially if you have picky eaters. Even if you don't have picky eaters, the thing is that like it just makes such a big difference when you slow down, when you pay attention to how you chew your food, how you relate to your food, that relationship that you have with the foods that you're eating, and you actually allow it to, you know, to nourish you rather than just you're eating for the sake of eating. You know what I mean? Another book that I have also been absolutely loving, and this is, again, I've had this for a little while and I'm back with it, and I absolutely love it. This is the 10-Day Plan to Nourish and Glow by Amelia Freer. Her book it's a 10-day meal plan that you get with both meat and vegan recipes. And basically the idea is that you prep all of your meals ahead of time, and then that way you're sort of using some of the foods that you have, or some of the ingredients from the day before, and then you're shifting that into lunch, and then that way you make a fuller use of the foods that you have. But also, this is one of the first books that I was reading when we were talking about emotional eating and how to have a good, healthy relationship with the food that you're eating, and how you don't self-medicate with food. So while I wouldn't say that I didn't realize that I was an emotional eater, and I still don't consider myself truly an emotional eater, but at least not in the traditional sense, the way that most people like to think about it. You know what I mean? Like, most people, when they think about emotional eating, they kind of think, well, when I get upset, then I eat a tub of Ben & Jerry's. And that's absolutely true for some people. If I get stressed, or if I'm going through emotional changes, like, I change the way that I eat by basically not eating. So then I end up losing quite a bit of weight. So that's where I need to really pay attention to allowing that food to nourish me, not add too much emotional attachment to it. So I highly recommend the book, just so that you get sort of educated when it comes to eating more mindfully, eating more with intention. I think ultimately that's the big key, is just to understand how we can really use the power of food to really nourish us without really giving it more power than it needs. On to mindset shifts. Well, I will say this. Me making a decision to get started with my yoga teacher journey, and really just giving myself the permission to explore that, to date that idea, that has been a mindset shift and a half. It has definitely brought up a lot of old baggage, so to say, because it really made me reflect on what my true values are and what I consider to be important, the most important thing for me. So with that, the mindset shifts that have taken place for the past month, and they are still taking place, and I think that it's not something that, mindset shifts are not like, I bought this thing, now I tried it out and it works, thumbs up. It's not really like that. It's a journey. It's a process. And think of it like an onion, and then you start peeling and peeling. And the more you work, the more attention you place on these things that you find internally that are blocking your growth, the more specific that thing that's holding you back is going to become, which is what's happening for me. So it's not that I think that the biggest thing is that I have a level of self-awareness around these things of what's holding me back, and then I seek out either the support or the guidance or the resources so I can kind of work through them. I'm no longer expecting myself to just be able to have all the answers and work through it on my own and just, fix it. I actually understand that I need to work on it, and we all do. Like, it's, me telling you about this is more just as a quick reminder that we should all be working on our certain internal world so that, you become more intentional and more mindful. But for me, as I push for growth, as I push for change, and I change and I evolve, and I feel that pull to go into a certain direction, the blocks are coming up fast and furious. And my blocks are going to be totally different than yours. So I don't want you to take me wrong that I'm saying that you should work on your blocks. Like, you should. You know what I mean? But I'm working on mine because it's becoming really evident. So the blocks that have come up is basically just asking me to get really clear of what my core values are and what the next phase of my wellness journey really looks like. And how can I use those skills and resources so that I can help me and I can also help others. I think that there's a difference between, you taking on a hobby or something because it fulfills a part of you, and it makes you more intentional, it makes you happier, it changes your state. I think that all those things are amazing, and I think that you should definitely do those things. But then there's a difference between that versus you want to really truly use those skills to serve. And the thing is that I've had this pull for a while, but I ignored it. And for the last 2 weeks, I also felt that I really, really, really wanted to go back to just asking a guide, asking anyone, literally anyone, whether it's another yoga teacher, another studio, a blog. Like I felt that internal fear because I was so scared to just listen to my own intuition, because I was scared to trust my own intuition. I'm happy to listen to my own intuition in certain circumstances when the stakes are not that high, but then in other areas I'm terrified because I feel like there's so much weight that my decision holds, and maybe you felt that way too. And I would look at like all of these different teachers and I would ask them what their opinion was, but they didn't really know what my driving factor was, so they couldn't help me. And it was just like this really like, you know, when you're just like fidgety and you're just like, you want the answer, but nobody can give you the answer because the answer is within you. And then all of a sudden, like, I think, thank God that I had a support system around me, because then finally I was able to really truly verbalize what the thing is that was holding me back from me to be able to make a decision. And it was so simple. Like, it was, it's comical how simple it was. I talked to a couple of friends of mine that know me personally, and I told them sort of like what my thought process was, and ultimately they just reminded me that I'm overthinking it because of fear, and I needed to be really reminded that it doesn't matter where I go, because any circumstance and any experience, a lot of the experiences will depend on not the place that you go to, but your own energy that you bring into that space. And it was just such a fresh reminder, because I remind my clients of this all the time. Like, if you've come to my clinic before and you've had a massage before with me and you've been to my space, you already know that the magic is not in the massage. The magic is when you get to that mental space, when you allow. And yoga is no different, and making a decision is no different. That it's whatever intentionality, whatever meaning you add to those things, to those places, to those people. If in your mind you already have a preconceived notion that something is going to be amazing and life-changing, it will be. If you're going in there thinking that you're going to get hurt and you're not safe and you're going to be exposed and you're going to be ridiculed, that's what will happen. So you want to be really careful. And I needed a reminder of, you can't use your intellect to make an intuitive based decision. So I wanted to now publicly thank all my friends who have helped me through that, because that was sort of the thing that I teach the most, and I needed to be reminded of that as well, that I'm not going to be able to use my intellect to make a decision when it's actually an intuition-based decision. So this is all I wanted to share with you. Let me know if you guys relate to being in a limbo, feeling, oh, I hate using this word, stuck. You know, you're never stuck. You can always go. You always have options. But in this case, let me know if you guys relate to feeling like you need anybody and everybody's opinion before you can make a decision, and because you're too scared to use your own intuition and to tune in and to quiet everything down and to trust that there is a lot of wisdom inside of you. Let me know if you guys relate. I would love to hear from you. In the meanwhile, I hope you guys have yourself a wonderful week whenever you're watching this, and I hope you had an amazing May. I can't wait for June. I feel like we're finally officially kickstarting summer. It's going to be amazing. And just keep seeking, you guys, and just keep connecting, because you're so much more powerful than you think. And I will see you guys again in my next video. Bye.